Hey folks, I'm at Victoria Falls and I'm making a cool time lapse for this video. So if you want to look, I got the camera way down there. And I've got the camera with my cool ND setup that I've been making, where I had to tape 3 ND filters together to put it on the GoPro when they should just magnetically click. But anyway, so while we wait for this beautiful time lapse, which I hope comes out, I don't have a whole lot to tell you this month for March. I do want to tell you what I kind of have been writing. So I've been writing a series on scale. Like, I liked the painter's camera video I did last year and I liked the values one. So I'm going to do kind of a whole series on scale. And the idea is how you see things, how you experience things, in scale, out of scale. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's actually motivated by a Solar Sands video. If you've never seen Solar Sands and you're into art or design or anything, go give it a watch. He did this one on monumentality, and it's actually, I'll say it's my favorite video on all of YouTube. You know, I've been on YouTube since 2006, and this one's my absolute favorite. But he talks about this idea of like monuments and how big they are and how people make them and how, you know, are they art, are they something else? I don't want to like give it all away, but it kind of inspired me to do like, to continue the new art series I was making, where I did value and I did a camera, and this one's gonna be on scale. And it's kind of neat because I actually kind of want to tell the story out of order. It's going to be kind of hokey how I do it. I start on like part 2 or part 3. I don't start on part 1, but that's part of the experience, is that with scale, it's how you experience something compared to something else. And it's kind of neat because I want to do it where, like, how a kid experiences toys in their hand and how it is meaningful. Like, people say like, oh, it's not really art. I would say it is, because these kids, you know, they light up. And I'm actually there's these old toys that I've had since the 1980s that I've kept in a bin and in a garage and haven't been touched, but they're in surprisingly good shape. And I actually want to use them, not so much as a toy review, because I'm not a toy guy, I don't review toys or anything, but as I feel these are sculptures in a way, and I had a visceral reaction to them as a 4-year-old kid back in 1988 or whatever. And that's why I could never part with them. I actually want to showcase them on YouTube because I've never seen anything like these on YouTube. At least I've seen some of this series. It's called Starcom, if you remember it. It was really cool. These little guys with magnetic feet. It was made by artists and engineers. It was so cool for a toy for preschoolers. And it's like, you got to appreciate some part of that human effort went into make that. But anyway, I actually wanted to do this whole series on scale because when I was taking art classes, I had a professor who told me, like, as I was drawing something small for a big project, he said, the scale is what I was getting wrong. Because, and I was like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, see, you have this shape here, and when you blow it up towards 5 feet across, it's just gonna be this big, enormous, flat shape. And ever since that, I've always been self-conscious about scale. How does something look, how you experience it? So I'm gonna try to tie a lot in together, where it's scale, what fits in your hand, what fits on your wall, what fits into big scale, like cities and stuff. I've been watching a lot of the urban planning channels. So hopefully it'll all kind of tie together. The other one, and this is kind of cool, I did a poll on Instagram for redoing a whole painting. And I've actually been wanting to figure out how to live stream paintings, painting sessions anyway. I haven't done a finished painting in a very long time, and part of it was I didn't feel like I did enough sketch work. I want to say the last finished painting I did was like 2009, and everything I did, which wasn't much, was all some sort of sketch or some sort of component, and I want to put it all together. So if you notice, like last year I was doing value and I did the painter's camera. Well, part of that was all going to culminate to me doing like actual finished pieces. So what I did was on Instagram, I gave people 8 preliminary drawings that I did years ago, and the idea that one of them, they get to vote on it, will become a final finished painting. And I'll kind of flash all of them for you real quick. See them? Okay. Where the finished one was this cool one of San Francisco, and I actually did a value study of this. I think I showed in the values video, I can't remember. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a whole new clean line drawing of this on Bristol paper. It's gonna look the tightest, cleanest drawing I can get. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to enlarge it using a projector to probably, I don't know, whatever fits on my standard size of watercolor painting, watercolor paper. And then I'm going to do line perfection drawing, where I perfect the line drawing using tracing paper, and then value studies, where I use the markers to create, I don't know, I'll probably just do one, but let's say 3 or 4 really good like marker patterns, because my attitude is I'm never gonna get as good as a painting as I can get a line drawing. It's actually kind of a good marker drawing. This is actually kind of a neat philosophy. Your painting will never look as good as your value study. I mean, you can finish it, but if your value study's off, the whole painting will be off. And for me, I can't work that tight, so my idea is the value study has to be better than the painting. Well, then the line drawing has to be better than the value study. And I haven't done any finished painting since 2009, but my attitude is that if I go at this with the right theory and the right technique, that I can break something up that would be hard to do into several steps. The idea is that when I finally start the painting, I've just got a value study and a color study, and I'm doing no creative work, no guesswork. It's all, I know what to do. It's kind of like blueprints of a house. By the time you start to build the house, you're not designing it anymore. So this should be pretty cool. And I actually want to figure out how to do live streaming. I'm trying to figure out how I can get the camera zoomed in right on the process and then just sit there and live stream it for 4 or 5 hours. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll definitely do it. So, this video I was hoping to have more, I don't know, a lot of times I write something during March. I was actually hoping to have a drawing for you. I'll flash it right here, this is what it's gonna look like. But it just didn't get made. A lot's going on right now. We've got war in Europe, and it's kind of like, you know, emotionally that takes its toll on you. But gotta get through it. We're glad COVID's winding down. So let's check that time lapse. I guess it kinda, I should tell you where I'm at. I'm at this place off Victoria Avenue that I call Victoria Falls. I believe it's called Alessandro Creek. All summer long, this is bone dry. In fact, most of the year, even in the winter, it's pretty dry. But after a good rainstorm, it'll be like this for a couple days. So I try to come down here after it rains because it's kind of beautiful, and then we've got all this, and I imagine the audio doesn't sound very good, but we'll just deal with that. But it's a cool place, and I've always liked the pictures that I get, and doing this time-lapse technique where I tape up the ND filters for a longer exposure. Should create a lot of blur. Should look kind of cool. Or this is all for nothing, but I gotta upload the video, so, you know, either way. As I mentioned, you can only do this a couple times out of the year, so I'm back with the camera at a different spot, but we'll see how it works. Look at the sun. So yeah, those are a couple cool ideas that I have going on. I'm trying to shoot some funny footage. Actually, a lot of the stuff I've been shooting for videos that you've seen and that I haven't uploaded will be going into this scale series. It's such a neat idea. I was hoping to have something earlier this year, but it's gonna be a little bit more involved rather than just a monthly vlog video like how I'm doing. Kind of just go across. For the folks who wanted Mission In shirts, which I wore in the last video and I'll display up on screen now, these are for sale at the Mission In Museum Foundation. If you didn't get one for whatever reason, you can go buy them. They're actually priced to sell. They're $5 each. Go check it out. They have men and women's. They're really comfortable. I got a lot of them. If you're looking for just a great workout shirt, there you go. I don't think they're going to be sold online in the future, and If you want one from me, you can order a G Clay print, and I will include a shirt with the G Clay prints. So kind of a neat little bonus. But other than that, yeah, let's just kind of go walk around vlogging a little bit. We haven't done that in a while. So I'm watching the ground right here because it is spring, it's been raining, but the rattlesnakes are out, and I don't want to bug them because they got little teeth with venom in them teeth. That looks dramatic. See, there's little holes just like this. And they're usually stuck up in there, but I tell people if you're gonna walk around in Riverside or anywhere like this time of year, you wanna have your eyes looking ahead of you, especially in any bushes. You do not wanna walk through bushes. And no earbuds. I love my earbuds, but right now, I need to be able to hear them warning me. The rattles are usually pretty chill snakes, but if they're agitated, you don't want to be near them, and they'll let you know if they're agitated. But I definitely dig this little park. It's not really even a park, I don't even know what to call it, but check out this. This is just such a neat little place. Yes, you really want to have your feet kind of just glued to the ground, and your eyeballs too. Check this out, got a little ant colony. Lots of ants around here. They're the big guys. I remember I used to see this a lot when I was a kid. Nikon action camera. Who needs GoPro? You can just hold mirrorless. Yeah, another view of the arroyo. So yeah, not a whole lot really going on with this video. It's more just to keep my monthly quota. I gave myself at the beginning of last year that I had to do a video a month, and I want to see how long I can keep it up for. I can't believe Casey Neistat did this every single day. But yeah, I'll show you some photos that I've been taking, because part of these is supposed to be creative, and I didn't want to have them like totally repeat. Like actually my whole thing was that, and I realized like, hey, if I did kettlebell videos, people would be going to me for fitness stuff, and it's like, well, you know, that was the last one I did was probably a couple years ago, and I want to do more, but I don't want to do a fitness channel. I lift weights and do stuff, but I'm not really like, it's not my niche. And I figure, well, if I just did art stuff, people think it's an art channel. And it's like, I don't really want that either. And then I did like COVID stuff. Well, I don't want to be a political commentary. Actually, I think I gave myself a rule I couldn't do more than 2 a year, and ideally 0. And last year, I don't think I did 1. I did futurism, which that's going to come up a lot, because, you know, that's something we have to look forward to, is the future. We can either dread it or look forward to it. So I actually wanted to kind of make it to where there was no strict focus. I didn't do just one thing. I did a variety of things. So the other big news is that I'm pushing signed Don O'Neill prints. Most of these are lithograph prints, which are made on an offset press and are high volume, and these are actually made back in the 1980s, but they're cool. If you've always wanted a signed Don O'Neill print, your window is going to be closing, because my goal is to completely sell out of them. But there'll be a link in the description. The cool one I'm selling is Mission Inn Towers. See, these were signed by my grandfather. My grandfather's been dead for almost 15 years now, so we don't make them signed. All of our prints we sell are unsigned, unlimited editions. If you want a signed G Clay print, I also have those for sale. I only have 1 left of the Mission Inn, so if you've always wanted to sign Mission Inn G Clay print, this is kind of your only chance. When they're gone, they're gone. If you want an unsigned one, sell you a million of those, DonO'Neill.com. But for the folks who like the cool Riverside stuff and they like the memorabilia aspect, the collectability aspect, and you can't quite get the original painting that you want, we've got some neat signed ones. They don't look as good as the actual G-Clay prints though. I have to defend my product. The new modern product looks so good. It's incredible on watercolor paper. The 35-year-old one, they look nice, but it's still a poster, but it's a antique poster. More to talk about. Last year, I think it was last December or so, the water line was up to the top of almost where those barrels are, those concrete pipes are. So all this was completely underwater, and sometimes this will be a big lake depending on how the earth movers make it. But it was kind of, I'll show you some pictures, but you could have seen that the ramp right there, the handrail, was partially underwater, and that's a long way. So that's kind of it for this video. Get to see a little bit more of the ravine. I kind of like this place. It's a little undiscovered gem for the most part in Riverside, and there's a nice little wildlife and, you know, stream flowing right through the middle of the city, and just right over there's loud traffic and nobody even knows you're here. So that's kind of it. Just a few key things. As I said, signed prints, DonO'Neill.com, my cool art project, and the scale project, which I'm not going to give a release date for the scale videos. Hopefully I'll have one this year, but it's all kind of how I want to write them. They're probably each going to be 20 minutes long, and I'm going to try to incorporate other weird stuff in there, and I know I have this bad habit. So anyway, it's a March video. I didn't have a lot going on. There's a war. Didn't really want to create something. Actually, I thought I was going to create something, but it just didn't quite get it going. Follow me on Instagram at Riley O'Neill. Follow my business at Don O'Neill Watercolor. And I'll see you next month.